This is a model I bought early this spring. I took a chance on it. It was 10 bucks. And the guy wouldn't move on it, but I don't blame him. This is a fairly rare model of a PSA Boeing 737. They used to call these the Grinning Bird. I believe that's say Pacific South. Yeah, Pacific Southwest Airlines. And I counted all the pieces. It does have the instructions, so I was able to reference that and make sure all the pieces were there. And this sold for $100. This is a model of a 1966 Ford Fairlane GTA. It's beautiful. When I pulled it out of the unlisted inventory, I thought I really had a winner here, but it's a copy. It's made by Ertl, and it's just a copy of the promo. And so I only got $17 for it, and that was top dollar. It took quite a while to sell as well. There's quite a few of these on the market. I sometimes think I have too many mailboxes, but then I sell a few and keep buying more. This was just a couple dollars at a garage sale. It's a standard galvanized steel mailbox. A little rough around the edges, but see, this one is Steel City in Youngstown, Pennsylvania. And this one took about a month or so to sell. But I did get $30 for it. Almost forgot what I priced these at. Another one of these outdoor cooking devices. This is a Toast Tight device. And I've sold these in the past, but usually in pairs. This one was just a single for 50 cents at a garage sale, so I picked it up and I was only able to get $19 for a single one. All tube clock radio. I picked this up pretty cheap at a garage sale, and it cleaned up real nice, real shiny after a little plastic polish on it. And I did take it completely apart and recapped it, meaning I soldered in new filter capacitors, changed the light bulb, and it works great. And I put it up for sale about a month ago, and it sold yesterday for $130. So I took it off the shelf to test it out, and what I found was I like to test them out just to make sure that my restoration has held. But what I found was that the dial indicator was not working properly, or the tuning. It would tune down, but it wouldn't tune back to the higher register. And so I had to take it apart just now, and with a little alcohol I was able to clean any grease out of the dial thread. It was kind of slipping a little bit on the controller. Got that fixed, and boy, just taking the thing apart again, I had to do some soldering because the antenna wire is soldered to the back panel. And in order to get the chassis out, you have to desolder that. But in any case, there's a little work involved, but I did get $130 for this. This pair of combat boots are from 1966-67 era. Actually, one of the boots is 66, one is 67. They're identical. One of the ways you can find the year is that DSA line. You can see the number 67. But Brown Shoe Company even goes further and gives you July 7th, but it says 65. It's very strange. The other place to find ID mark is right here. You can see the 7. It's very tough to make out, but that says 67. And then the other boot clearly says 66. But they're identical, got the same name inside as far as the soldier that wore these. They're size 10, and I've had them up for sale for a long time. I probably paid $10 for them at when I used to go to Goodwill's, so that's been about 3 years now. They finally sold. I had them priced really high, and they finally sold for $190. This is an older style Key Imperial hat. This one is even got the sanforized label on it. Pretty good shape, almost like brand new. Good railroader hat. And I was able to get $30 for this. This is a fairly common book on the history of Mustangs. And I've had this up for sale for probably a year now. And finally got $15 for it. This is a Heathkit voltmeter. Vacuum tube voltmeter. There is a vacuum tube in it. And I found this at it was an outdoor sale I happened upon just across the border in Iowa. When I got there, I saw that it was mostly tractor parts and car parts for sale, but I walked through it anyway. I did pick up this, an old Western rifle scabbard, and a telephone that I've already sold, a rotary telephone. I got it all for $20. Rotary telephone sold right away, and this voltmeter now has sold for $60. I did print off a copy of the manual that I found online. Hopefully that helped facilitate the sale at $60. This is a Panasonic Double Dynamite 8-track player, nicknamed the Swiss cheese model because of its design. I got this along with all that Marantz equipment, especially that turntable I parted out. So I didn't really pay anything for it. And I did have to disassemble it and clean out all the old grease, the program selector. I have to check that. It's now slowed up again. Well, I'm going to have to take it apart and make sure that that's working properly again. In any case, this sold for $140, mostly because of its unique style. Oh, it's really strange. Very slow track change. In case you were interested, this little plunger right here is what turns the dial, and that was sticky, so a little alcohol cleaning and more lubrication, and now it snaps into place just fine. Again, I did have to do a little work on this, but I got $140 for this stereo 8-track. This is just a 3-pack of these micro cassettes by Sony. These can be used in the little micro cassette recorders, handheld recorders, or also in the analog answering machines that still use tapes. These are 60-minute ones. I come across these quite often. They get thrown in on deals, and I have a few of these up for sale, and this one finally sold after a number of months for $10. Mustang Cobra type fastback sold. This model, not a real professional job. It's not bad, but not one of those $100 plus. Looks like it's a metal flake finish on it. And this has been up for over a year now. And it finally sold for full price, $40. Big storm last night. Just left us with some fence panels down, a lot of debris in the yard. The dogs like the new open yard layout. Now they got the neighbor's yard to explore.